Growing up, my dad had a saying that sometimes bad luck could trickle into your life like an annoying leaky faucet, and sometimes it could pour in like a river of shit. Dad dealt with life's blows by taking it out on me, with his fist and his belt. And because of him, my life had basically been one long flood of shit. But deep down, I'd always hoped that the steady stream of crap that always turned my life upside down would eventually dry up. It had been that way for a while when I'd finally allowed myself to love Cassie. But then, as usual, I'd managed to bust a hole in the dam. And once again, the shit flowed, and once again, I waited for something to stop it. A loud knock rattled the door. I squinted into the semi-darkness. The unfamiliar furniture and pictures came slowly into focus. Sunlight slipped between the slats of the bamboo shades covering the windows. The girl next to me stirred but then dozed back off. It was the same confusing scenario I'd woken up to far too often in the past few months. An unfamiliar room, a strange bed, and a girl whose name I couldn't quite remember. "Sandy!" a deep voice bellowed from the front stoop. The yell was followed by a pounding knock that nearly pushed the front door off its hinges. It was as loud as thunder, but the girl next to me had hardly flinched. "Are you Sandy?" I asked. She lifted her head as if it weighed 100 pounds and peered up at me through a tangle of long brown hair. "I'm Haley." "Oh, right. Sorry." She dropped her head back on the pillow. "That's all right. I don't know your name either, except that it rhymes with Gray or something." "Dray." "Right," she mumbled against the pillow. "Sandy." This time the wall moved with the door as the angry man outside rammed his fist against it. "He sounds really big." With a sigh, she rolled onto her back and pulled the sheet up over her naked body. "That's Cliff. His nickname is Bigfoot." I slid out of bed and searched in the dim light for my jeans. "Who's Sandy?" I asked as I buttoned up my pants and grabbed my shoes and shirt. Her thin arm came up and she pointed toward the bedroom. "I think she's in there with your friend." The night was coming back to me in a blur. Shoes and shirt in hand, I pushed open the bedroom door. A girl's head poked out from the bottom of the sheet. Barrett was on his stomach stretched out across the mattress, with his big feet hanging off the side. Another girl lay across his bare back. "Rhett, we gotta get out of here. Some guy is out there looking for Sandy, and I don't think he came with donuts and coffee." Barrett winced as if he was in pain as he opened his bloodshot eyes. The girl who'd been stretched out across his back moaned softly and rolled off. Barrett glanced back at her. "I thought your name was Teresa." "It is." I pointed to the head of auburn hair sticking out from the end of the bed. "I think this is Sandy." The giant fist pounded the door again, and Barrett sat up. "Shit, Cliff, you're such a jerk." A small voice came from the other side of the bed. A head with red hair popped up from the sheets. Even Barrett seemed surprised to see her. I shook my head at him. "Shit, Rhett, you're not just the man, you're a fucking legend." Barrett glanced around at the girl-strewn mattress. "There were 3 of you? I remember you." He pointed to the girl next to him and smiled. He lifted his face and looked down toward the end of the bed. "And I remember you, but—" Then his smile widened. "Oh yeah, I just remembered." The pounding on the door increased in intensity. "Dude, relive the memories later. The guy outside goes by the nickname Bigfoot." I went to the window and slid it open. "Pull on your pants. After last night, I'm not in the mood to pound in some guy's face." Barrett lowered his feet to the ground and grabbed his pants. The girl at the end of the bed jumped up behind him and threw her arms around his neck.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.